Late last month, I spoke with ACT MP Leah McClure, who had concerns over an ACC tender that included specific injury reduction targets for Māori and Pasifika workers in the manufacturing sector. The tender aimed to reduce 5,461 claims over 10 years, with 18% being Māori and 11 from Pasifika populations. McClure argued this approach contradicted a cabinet directive, emphasising that public services should be based on need rather than race. Initially, ACC Minister Scott Simpson defended the tender, citing data showing higher injury rates between Māori and Pasifika workers. However, following McClure's intervention and public pressure, Simpson requested ACC to revisit the proposal. Subsequently, ACC has now reissued the tender and removed these specific ethnic targets and says now it will focus on outcomes for the broader manufacturing sector. Leah McClure joins me now. Leah, good afternoon. Where's my friend? Where are you? Leah? Hello? Hang on, I'll just put her back on hold and we'll see if she was... Oh, I know you were talking to Kelly. Hello, Leah. I'm sure you were talking to her before, weren't you, Kelly? Yes, I could see you in the camera. Right, we're just checking if she is there. Might have to call her back. Oh, no. All right. Well, I had a really nice setup and she's not there. Very quickly before we keep trying for Leah. Oh, shall we try again? Let's try again. But before I go back to it, quickly. We were talking about age, right? It's just a number. I just got this text, and Leah, I hated turning 30. I hated turning 30? You can't still be young then. 30 is young to me. But then I didn't mind 40 or 50. And then less than a month ago, I turned 60. OMG. I know old people who are that age. According to the geographical ages of women, I'm now like Siberia. Everyone knows where it is, but nobody wants to go there. Happy birthday to the platform. I thought I've got to share that. All right, we'll try again, shall we? Leah McClure.
Oh, hello. Do you have me on the line?
Were you hiding in a cupboard or something? Where were you?
I wasn't. I was talking to you. I actually was saying happy birthday to the platform. I was singing you happy birthday.
Oh,
very disappointed.
Sorry, Leah. We could let you do it again, but you know, it wouldn't have the same kind of gusto,
it wouldn't be the same, you know.
It wouldn't be the same.
But happy birthday, nonetheless.
Thank you. And I had a great setup for you as well. But look, we are here now, and we're talking about that ACC has now reissued the tender removing the specific ethnic targets. So that is good news, Leah. But what exactly will change, and what do they reissue? What's different now?
Yeah, look, I think it is a really positive change, and I think it brings it back into line with the Cabinet Manual and our vision of making sure that we are basing things on need, not lazingly just basing it on race, for example. So I have seen that they have reissued it and they have removed these guidelines, which I think is important because I think when I talked to you originally, I spoke about manufacturing does have a higher rate of injuries within that sector, but now the scope is broadened out to include anybody working within that industry, and to try and find ways in which we can reduce the levels of accidents in that area. And I think it's a really positive thing
for everybody. Absolutely. You've been pushing hard on this, Leah, but do you think public backlash also played a role in getting ACC to backtrack?
Yeah, look, possibly. I think some of these government agencies are still working under the old Labor kind of previous government's sort of mandate, and it might just be that reminder that they needed. But I think it could be that there was quite a lot of backlash to it because, you know, I mean, it's not surprising. Most people believe that everybody who goes to work deserves to come home safe, and it doesn't really matter who they are at the end of the day. Yeah.
Even though the ACC has removed the specific ethnic targets, they still insist that the data shows Māori and Pasifika workers are more prone to injury in manufacturing. Do you dispute these findings?
It's not that I dispute the findings. I want to see where those findings have come from and what sort of data set they are, and also how they've drawn these conclusions. And I think that was one of my questions. It was, if you can prove that this is in fact a need thing for this particular ethnicity, then, maybe that is a genuine need. I don't believe that to be the case, but we did ask for a review of this or to provide some more information, and obviously ACC have gone away and came back with just removing it out of the tender document, which I find interesting. So I've not seen any other data or figures to back that up. Yeah.
So that is, Laura. So maybe there wasn't any data because you've asked for it and then they come back and say, oh, actually, no, we're just going to remove it. Yeah, let's move on. Possibly.
Yeah, look, I mean, possibly. Look, I do think the data probably exists, but data is really subjective. It's all about how you ask the questions. And ultimately, I think the question for that particular industry would have been, what kind of accidents are we having and how are we going to reduce them? And that is really the key important message here. And rather than just, lazingly looking at people's ethnicities, and realistically, that's just a tick the box on potentially an ACC accident form. Yeah. I think they probably do have that data, but I don't think it's the right way to tackle this issue.
Manufacturing Minister Chris Pink had said the injury rates in the sector hadn't improved in a decade, and he wanted ACC to prioritise this. Have you spoken to him, Laura, about this reversal or what he makes of it?
I actually haven't spoken to him about this particular reversal, but like Chris Pink as being our manufacturing spokesperson, I do think there are concerns, and it is a issue that there has been, no decline in the rate of injuries and accidents within the industry, and I think it is a concern, despite having quite heavy health and safety regulations and laws in place. This is one of the sectors that seems to be, lagging behind for whatever reason. So I think it is a fair point to target that, and I am looking forward to seeing what kind of initiatives come out from this tender.
The backflip, as you probably already know, Laura, is likely to ruffle some feathers, especially with union groups. Ed2's come out saying that ACT is out of touch with workers and employers. How do you respond to that?
Oh, look, I don't think it's out of touch. I think what I'd say to E2 is, do they not think that everybody deserves to go to work and come home safe no matter what your ethnicity is? So, it's really that simple. And I think that everybody would agree with that statement. So if they think that I'm out of touch, I think that they maybe should put that question to their membership even. And I would think that they would all say yes. Yeah.
Can we switch gears just for a moment, Laura? You've introduced a members' bill around small societies and compliance rules. Can you break down what this is about in plain terms?